Let's pay homage to the lineage gurus. To the Venerable Monk Liao Ming, Master Sakya Zhengkong, His Holiness the 16th Karmapa, and Master Dubdan Dorji. Let's pay homage to the three jewels of the altar and homage to the main deity of Homa today, Mahamayuri Buddha, Mahamayuri Sutra, Mahamayuri Assembly, and retinue. Sumo, Tanchen Gato, Tutan City, Tutan Kama. All Dharma masters, Dharma lecturers, Dharma teachers, Dharma instructors, Dharma tutors, temple and center directors, and all disciples present here and over the internet. Good afternoon. How do you do?
Aishiteru 사랑해 오라미코 깨깨로 묻혀 스코인 이지와 김어지 지미 야피 뿌린뿌린 konnichiwa.
Now I would like to announce for next Sunday, January 14th at 3 p.m. there would be Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva Homa fire offering ceremony. Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva is known to everyone. No one does not know. Avalokitesvara is the yidam of many people. And they are closest to sentient beings in the Sa world. We can say that they are the Bodhisattva with the closest affinity. And we can say that Tantric Buddhism, the whole Tibet, is the spiritual center for Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva. The most important mantra there is just Om Mani Padme Hum. It's everywhere. Om Mani Padme Hum. Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva has the closest affinity with sentient beings, and they delivered the most sentient beings too. So if you have no affinity with them, then you don't need to become primary supplicants. We can say the whole of Tibet is the spiritual center for Avalokitesvara or Kuan Yin Bodhisattva. It's Om Mani Padme Hum everywhere. There. But I heard it will be very cold next week and perhaps even snow. It's okay. If it's snowing hard, you don't need to come, but you still have to register for primary supplicants. We don't have to have the ceremony, but you still have to become the primary supplicant.
希望呢，观世音菩萨保佑。
We hope that Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva protects us so that our Homa next week will go on as usual.
其实他的手印也很多。
Actually, there are many mudras for Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, but the common one that we use is the Bodhisattva mudra, the Lotus Anjali mudra, to symbolize Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva.
他是最慈悲的。
They are the most compassionate symbolizers. They symbolize the most compassion. Bodhisattvas who with the greatest compassion.
我们今天是做
And today
本片冥王
we had a Mahamayuri
尊啊，
Homa. And this deity has tremendous power that
他头
they are the same as 3 Tathagatas. The crown that they're wearing
如来的宝冠，
is the precious crown of Vairocana Buddha, the great son Tathagata.
他也是象征释迦牟尼佛，
And
因为
they also represent
在他的
or symbolizes
过去
Sakyamuni Buddha, because prior to attaining Buddhahood, Sakyamuni Buddha in his past life was once a peacock king.
孔雀王，
Peacock king.
大家也知道，
And we all know
它象征是释迦牟尼佛
that Mahamayuri
众生
represents Sakyamuni Buddha. That's the functional body.
在这个阿弥陀佛，
And Amitabha Buddha.
在西方极乐世界，
In Sukhavati Pure Land,
陀佛变化出
there are
界
peacocks, parrots,
加利平家，
kalavinkas, jivajigas
所以它也是
manifested by Amitabha Buddha.
陀佛的
Therefore,
化身。
they also represent the transformation body of Amitabha Buddha.
大力如来
3 Tathagatas. One is the great son Tathagata Vairocana, Sakyamuni Buddha,
阿弥陀佛，
and Amitabha Buddha.
三个合一的
The combined
确
union of these 3 Tathagatas is Mahamayuri Buddha.
一个是孔雀鱼，
And what they're holding, one is peacock feather for subjugation,
一个是白莲花，
a white lotus
集灾用，
for purification and eradication of calamities,
生意用，
and auspicious fruit for enrichment, and the affinity gathering fruit for love and respect.
习真
So the Dhamma power encompasses purifications, enrichments, magnetization, and subjugation.
这是一尊这个
This is a deity
大孔雀鱼，
that we perform today, Mahamayuri, the great peacock king.
这个大孔雀冥王海会诸眷属，
And Mahamayuri assembly
它的眷属非常的多的，
include many of them.
它的眷属啊，有过去
Mahamayuri assembly
过去七佛，
includes the 7 past Buddhas,
中央呢有
and at the center, Maitreya Bodhisattva.
又有严学
to left and right, Pratyeka Buddhas and Shravakas,
还有四天王，
and the 4 heavenly kings, 8 heavenly kings,
28星宿，
28 constellations,
九曜，
Navagraha,
宫，
the 12 zodiacs
就是孔雀明王的眷属。
are all part of the retinue of Mahamayuri.
所以孔雀明王的法力很大。
Therefore, Mahamayuri has tremendous, great Dharma power.
这是我们今天做的孔雀明王。
So, this was Mahamayuri, the one that we perform for Homa today. 昨天有提到 Yesterday,
这个很多的空行母，
I mentioned about many Dakinis
它有很多的空行母。
in our school.
那空行母最主要的
Dakinis, most importantly,
大的空行母，
the greatest Dakini is the Prajna Buddha Mother.
我们常常念
We often
波罗给对，波罗僧给对，菩提所哈。
we often chant this mantra Om Kete Kete Poro Kete Poro Sung Kete Buddhi Soha.
后面的几句话吧，
This was the last few words in the Heart Sutra.
本身是代表智慧，
So that represents wisdom,
智慧
that symbolizes
也
wisdom.
象征智慧。
Therefore, Dakinis represent wisdom. The greatest Dakini is Prajna Buddha Mother. And Prajna
就是智慧，
means wisdom,
就是如来的智慧。
the wisdom of the Tathagata.
所以我今天听到这个莲池上师
So today I heard Master Lien Tzu said in her meditation
去找他，
there were 2 Dakinis
他的眼睛，
looking for her, blessing her eyes, and she ignored
他的
them
禅，
and she continued her meditation.
觉得你也应该要
And I feel that you should be respectful toward Dakinis. And if you ignore wisdom, how can you have wisdom then?
波叶国母
Prajna Buddha Mother
空行
is the greatest Dakini.
母，空行母都是从波叶国
All the Dakinis came from Prajna Buddha Mother.
主要的最大的祖宗。
That's the greatest primary deity
当瑜伽母
of the Dakini. And also Vajrayogini, Dorje Pakmu, they are all Dakinis. Manohara is also a Dakini.
啊，咕噜咕噜国母
Gurukule Buddha Mother is also a Dakini.
都是很大的空行母，
They are all great Dakinis.
智慧
They have great wisdom and great power,
缺一不可。
and that you cannot lack any of them. The other time, Dharma Sister Xiaofen said that the 5 Buddha mothers of Guru Padmasambhava paid homage to Grandmaster.
他当然要敬礼了。
Of course, they had to pay homage.
就是。
These 5 Buddha mothers were old acquaintances of Grandmaster.
像一喜周
We knew each other well, like Ishijoga, who became a leader, spiritual leader or founder. of a sect,
它的化身非常
Ishijogal, and she has many
马
emanations
家尊
like Machilabron,
像沙拉沙蒂，
Saraswati,
沙拉沙蒂
Saraswati, the Ganges goddess, the snowy mountain goddess, Ishijogal,
都是依系抽嘎的化身。
were all emanations of Ishijogal.
我那个时候啊，我也在。
At that time, I existed then. She was a concubine of King Zhongtijin that was transferred or given to Guru Padmasambhava. And the first Buddha mother, Mandarawa,
阿富汗
was
国度的公主，
a princess of a kingdom in India near Afghanistan,
抽嘎跟曼达拉瓦，
Mandarawa and Ishijogal.
莲华生大师的汤卡里面
In Guru Padmasambhava's Tanka,
是依系抽嘎。
often have Mandarawa and Ishijogal as the two Buddha mothers on his sides.
印度一个国度，
And Mandarawa was a princess of a kingdom in India.
再来呢，
And
释迦得瓦，
Sakyadevi
她是尼泊尔
was
一个千金，
a nobility
尼泊尔
lady from Nepal.
后来依系抽嘎到尼泊尔，
And then Ishijogal,
莲华生大师的命令，他到尼泊尔
in following the instruction of Guru Padmasambhava, Ishijogal went to Nepal to look for Sali, which was
见过十
the emanation of Vajrapani Bodhisattva.
三个佛母，
And she also met Sakyadevi, which was the third Buddha mother of Guru Rinpoche.
四个佛母
And the fourth Buddha mother of Guru Rinpoche was Kalasidi.
就是依系抽嘎，
And that was the attendant to Ishijogal,
就变成莲华生大师。
which later became Guru Rinpoche's fourth Buddha mother. The fifth Buddha mother was Tashi Chidrun,
大喜是不丹的人，
and she was from Bhutan.
丹
Bhutan.
丹的。大喜的修炼也蛮有成就，
And the cultivation of Tashi was quite successful.
多戒火烈，
She transformed into
大师的
Dorje Torlu, which was the wrathful emanation of Guru Rinpoche.
老虎
And underneath the tigress
就是大喜的化身。
was the emanation of Tashi children.
这五个佛母我都是认识，
So I knew all these five Buddha mothers.
他们
So
向如实尊敬，
they paid homage to Grandmaster Lu.
差不多
That's about right
都认识。
because I knew them all.
所以空行母
So Dakinis
的确是不是很，就是像他们的
they represent wisdom
10万空行母
like the 100,000 Dakinis.
在澳门天，
They are at the Oregon Pure Land, Oregon
澳门天宫有10万的空行母，
Pure Land. There are 100,000 Dakinis. And at the Golden Mother's place, there are 3,000 Dakinis.
有些女性
Some
她就变成
females who have attainment, they become
没有身体的
the Dakinis or celestial beings without bodies. Talking about bodiless celestial beings. Recently, I met Vimalakirti and I asked him, Grandmaster Lu is in the Saha world and often cure the illnesses of people. Of course, I'm not a doctor, a medical doctor. I use a traditional treatment. I use talisman, fu, or mantra, or power of blessing. Every time when Simu gets on the car, she could not walk, so I carried her onto the car to go to the temple. And my drive to the temple was just a few minutes, a few short minutes, not even half an hour or an hour. And then in the car, in between, I just chanted the sutra and some mantras. And then when we opened the door, she forgets that she was carried onto the car and she could walk. She can walk. So we say that car is a healing car. Every time she gets on it, she's fine. At first, she would felt bad and needed people's help to get on the car and help in putting on the seatbelt. But once we get onto the tantric quarters, she just jumped off the car and ran up the stairs and forgot that she was sick before. It's every time it's like that. So that's also a kind of power. I can help many people. And someone with the clinically blind disease that's diagnosed by the doctor, and now the eyes have gotten better. Lianqi knew. What's her name? Her name is Sarah Smell, and a student from Stanford University. And doctor had diagnosed her to be clinically blind, but after my blessing, not only she doesn't go blind, they've gotten better and become clearer and brighter. So there are many very mystical experiences. But I asked Vimalakirti, how come my illness at my 79, I cannot cure myself, but I can cure other people? Why? And Vimalakirti smiled. Your illness is a small ailment. In the future, you use this small ailment on your body to cure the most severe big illness of your body. What? I have the biggest illness? And I asked, what is the biggest illness? And Vimalakirti said, your body is your biggest illness. Your physical body is your biggest illness. And you use this small ailment to finish your biggest ailment, to finish your physical body, and that's the biggest illness. But let me tell you, it's not that only I have illnesses, but everybody does. And you think doctors are incredible. They can cure other people's illnesses, but they can't cure their own illnesses. Every one of us will die. You think doctors who specializes on curing others will not die? All doctors will die eventually. No exception. And that is the biggest illness. We all will have to leave. Every time I go back to Taiwan, there is a pharmacy that's called Ting Ting Pharmacy, and Ting Ting is slang for dying, for death. What a good name! That means the medicines are something that will kill you. After taking medicines of that pharmacy, you all will die. There's like a death pharmacy or Ting Ting Pharmacy in Taiwan. It's actually a franchise. Huh? Really, Master Tupten Dorji called death or die Ting Ting, so they can sue me? No, they should sue Master Tupten Dorji. So your body, your physical body, is your biggest illness. Sakyamuni Buddha once said that the human body is a storage of germs. They're all germs inside your body. And one day, the germs inside your body will eat up all the other germs of your body until it's all gone. So therefore, our physical bodies are fake, are false. Your body, if you think your body is you, that's wrong. That's the fake self. In spiritual cultivation, we need to find our true self. So what Vimalakirti said was right. You use the small ailment to cure your biggest illness, which is to grind and cleanse your body until cleanly, until what's left is the true self. Everyone will die, will be sick, including the doctors. Of course, as a doctor, they are saving the world, but in reality, they too will not be able to cure themselves. Everyone is the same. So what Vimalakirti told me was very right. And then I asked him again, then Vimalakirti, when you were talking, you had illness too. That's why you had Vimalakirti Sutra. Do you know, by being sick, you're actually helping your disciples? I said, no, I didn't know. By being sick, how can I help my disciples? You know, your disciples, in order to ask you to stay in samsara, help you chant Hiking Sutra, go to Mother Sutra, help you chant mantra, so many. they all chant sutras and mantras. Actually, you're helping them cultivating spiritually because some of them never practice. But in order to ask you to stay samsara, they chant the sutras and they do practice and they chant mantras. So you're actually helping them. When I heard Vimalakirti said that, I was speechless. Really. So by being sick, I'm helping my disciples practicing. See, the whole world that was initiated by True Buddha Foundation, everyone should pray for Grandmaster and Simu and chanting sutras and mantras, and for a great number. And that's actually helping you cultivating spiritually. So Vimalakirti really had his way. This is also interesting, but it makes sense. Okay, let me share a joke now. A woman wants to get married, but because her boyfriend was not a Buddhist, her parents disagreed. So the boyfriend, upon her suggestion, started to read about Buddhism so that he can become a Buddhist and receive approval from the girlfriend's parents. And after a period of time, the parents asked their daughter, "So how is he doing now?" And the daughter said, "Yeah, he's a Buddhist now." And the parents were very happy and said, "Okay, now you can get ready to get married." But the daughter cried, "Married? So why are you crying?" Because he believes it really, and now have become monk. He's really got into it. He's gotten into it. A woman really likes to watch a TV series about palace and harem, like the ones that you watched, all of you watched. Oh, 甄嬛传 and other biographies about queens and concubines and many of them. So she's always very suspicious. And when she was buying a bun, she took a silver needle and to put it into the bun, and it became black. It's poisonous, poisonous. And the boss said, "You crazy? That's the black sesame seed." A guy told the aunt, "Hey auntie, my mom gave me $200 for cutting my hair. Can I give you $100 and can you please cut my hair, and then I have $100 for myself?" And the auntie, wanting that $100, agreed, USD agreed, and cut cut his hair, and because it wasn't well, so continued cutting and cutting and cutting until he became completely bald. So the little guy, looking in the mirror, cried really badly. So the auntie did not have any other way and had to reimburse him with $500. Now we'll get to the Q&A. Didn't say the name of a country. A country in the east. The precious Grandmaster, please advise. I have 1 to 2 hours free time every day to practice Dharma. But as a middle-aged person, I have elderly parents above and young children below. And in addition, I have my own financial and health issues. I am burdened with many worries and have many requests. Sometimes I recite Grandmaster's mantra, Ushnisha Vijaya mantra, Buddha Sutra, Siddhigarbha Sutra, to pray for worldly issues. Then I have no more time left to practice Vajrasattva or Vajra heart Dharma practice. Grandmaster, what should I do? My current plan is to still try my best to practice the Vajrasattva or Vajra heart Dharma, and in the remaining time I will do my utmost to recite the sutras and mantras. Then I will dedicate all the merits to various wishes. As long as I have done my utmost, whether it results in success or failure, I will just leave it to Grandmaster and the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. So not much time, lots of worries, the elderlies and the young children, and not much time. What should you do? Sometimes I think we are all very busy. I also sometimes find time is not enough for me. I don't have enough time. In Dharma practice, I regard that practicing one Dharma is good enough, not too much. One sutra, one mantra, one Dharma practice. And you go deep into it. In middle age, sometimes impermanences can happen anytime. It's best that you practice to be born into the Pure Land. In my Dharma practice, primarily is to strive to be reborn in the Pure Land. And for the worldly issues, I just let it go, let it run its course. So as for myself, my primary practice is to be born in the Pure Land. If you cannot transform your own body into rainbow light, then you should practice to be born into the Pure Lands and Buddha verses. Once you arrive at the Pure Land, you can continue to practice to attain Buddhahood. Because once you get to the Pure Land and you see the Buddha, then you have confidence. Because in the Sukhavati, they are the graceful and harmonious sound, by hearing it, then you would naturally be mindful of the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha and practice the 37 aids to enlightenment, and you can have attainment. So that's why sometimes just practicing to be reborn to the Pure Land is good enough. Like Grandmaster now, according to Taiwanese calendar, I'm 80 now. I'm 80. After the winter solstice, 80. So I just practice to be born in the Pure Land, and I don't think about all the other worldly practices anymore. Just to be born in the Pure Land with one sutra, one mantra, and one dharma practice. And then I help by bardo delivering other sentient beings. These are all very important. I also practice the 1,000 Dharma vessels bardo deliverance every single day since the start of the pandemic until today. Never skip a day. I never skip a day. So I practice the 1,000 Dharma vessels, Dharma bardo deliverance, and ultimately I bardo deliver myself, which is a Dharma practice to be reborn into the Pure Land and the Buddha verses. So Vajra heart or Vajra sattva Dharma practice, that he's trying his best to practice that is correct. That's the Dharma for repentance. It can clear your karma, your worries, your afflictions, your attachments, to reduce and clear them bit by bit every day. And then with attainment you can go to the Pure Land. There is one key requirement to go to the Pure Land is you need to have good roots. Because by practicing the Dharma, that means you are building your goodness or good roots. And by having the good roots, you can go to the Pure Land and Buddha verses. And without any goodness or any good roots, then you just you will be reincarnated in the transmigration. And you just follow your karma. But by performing Dharma practices, you're building on your good roots. So even when you still have karma, you can go to Pure Land. Because in Sukhavati, there is a Pure Land for mixed mundane beings and the sages. And then at such time, you can practice the mindfulness of the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha and the 37 aids to enlightenment, and then you can have attainment. So he dedicates all the merits of the practices to the various worldly wishes. You pray for the worldly wishes? No need. If you have practiced the beyond worldly Dharma that transcends the world, then naturally you would have good roots and you would have blessings and great fortunes. When the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas see that, they would naturally bestow great fortune upon you. No need to ask for the worldly rewards. Just pray to be reborn in the Pure Land. Chanting Grandmaster's mantra, Ushnisha Vijaya mantra, to Buddha Sutra, Siddhikarbha Sutra, to pray for worldly issues. But the sutras are to transcend the world, for the beyond worldly, not for the worldly. So just do one Dharma practice, Vajrasattva, and you dedicate the merit to be reborn in the Pure Land and Buddha verses. May all who uphold the Buddha Amitabha be reborn in the realm of utmost bliss, repaying for full generosity from above and aiding those in the three realms below. Upon seeing the Buddha, may we transcend life and death, and like the Buddha, may we liberate all. Just this merit dedication is very good. There is no need to dedicate merit for worldly issues. So Vajrasattva dependence dharma is primarily to eradicate your own karma. Once your karma is eradicated, then you have accumulated good roots, and by having good roots, you would naturally have great fortune, and you don't need to ask for them. Just pray to be reborn in the Pure Land. So this is what my advice to Liao Zijiang. One sutra, one mantra, one dharma practice, and familiarize yourself and go deep into them. And then you use your time to do that. In the future, you will definitely have attainment. The wife told the husband, "I lost my car key," and the husband replied, "Didn't you put it on top of the cabinet?" And yeah, I see it. It's right there, and my cell phone is gone too. But aren't you using your cell phone to talk to me? And the wife said, "Oh right, sorry, I have lost my memory." And the husband replied, "Is that lost memory? You actually have a brain problem. We've been divorced for a very long time." The television station and the newspapers interviewing for reporters. And the question is, if you were a reporter during the Qin dynasty and making a report about the burning of books and execution of Confucian scholars during the Qin dynasty, this is BC, 200 BC, how would you report it? And one candidate said, dictatorship government. And the interviewer said, you don't understand about politics then. And the second one said, we have no publication today. And the interviewer said, you're brainless. And then another candidate said, I will report like this. The campfire encountered an accident, and 300 Confucian scholars died from the fire, and a huge pile of books were burned, and the emperor showed empathy and tried his best to save them. So he was approved as a talent. That shows that many medias were making things up. Someone is looking for a job, and wrote that he is he can create rumors or problems by spreading rumors. And then the interviewer could not believe that. Are you sure? Then please try. And then he told all the other candidates, you all can go home now, no need to wait, I've got the job. Now you can go home. And they all laughed. So he did it.
笑吗？女人的一生
This is funny.
后是淘气，
The life of a
大
woman
了以后就淘
when they're young, or this is a Chinese pun,
淘金，结婚了，
digging
中
like
年了，
naughty when they're young.
嫁给了
Yeah, this is Chinese
要
pun.
逃命，炸，炸呀！这个好笑吗？上课
This is funny.
每一个学生都无精打采，
In class, all the students were
有人答出下个问题，
like energetic. They're not energetic, and anybody that can give an answer can go home. And Ming was laughing, and continually laughing and laughing.
谁在笑？
Who is laughing? And Xiaoming said, "That's mine." So I can go home now.
这个好笑吗？
This is funny.
好啦，我们看啊，5点了，
It's 5 already.
不用再说话。
The elderly does not need to give Dharma teaching anymore.
讲维摩诘经，
Now we'll talk about the Vimalakirti Sutra.
用机如空啊！
Although viewing all Buddha verses as eternally serene and empty, one manifests various pure lands, and this is the practice of a bodhisattva.
佛国净
As Buddhists, we all know
佛本
that pure lands and Buddha verses
化现出来的净，
are manifested by the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas themselves.
都有化现净。
So Buddhas and Bodhisattvas manifest pure lands. And we also know that these pure lands are temporary, they are not permanent.
净土本来就化生出来，
Because pure lands are originally manifestations.
西方极乐世界
Like Sukhavati of the West,
阿出国的
the Lapis Lazuli Pure Land, the Pure Land of Akshobha Buddha, the Pure Lands of the 5 Dhyani Buddhas, and all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva,
没有这个，全部都是化现，
they are all manifested,
让你修行的地方。
and they are temporary place for your spiritual cultivation. Although you understand that, you know that, but true bodhisattvas still manifest pure lands so that sentient beings can go there to cultivate spiritually. Only then they are called true bodhisattvas.
即如空，是空，
Although the pure lands and Buddha verses are
但是仍然化。
extinct, serene, and empty,
这是
but they still manifest pure
这个佛道
Pure lands and Buddha verses, and that's a true bodhisattva.
而不所人。
Although attaining the Buddha path, turning the Dharma wheel, and entering Nirvana, one does not abandon the bodhisattva path. And that is the practice of bodhisattva. Although you have attainment, and you don't have to be reincarnated in the six rebirth realms, and you can enter Nirvana, but you don't. And you stay in the 6 rebirth realms and not forsaking sentient beings, and then they are a true bodhisattva. You have become a Buddha, you have attainment,
而且呢，你可以化成红光，
and you can transform into rainbow light, but you don't enter Nirvana,
还是不舍众生，在度众生。
and you still don't forsake sentient beings, and you still deliver sentient beings, then that is a true bodhisattva.
这个化的时候啊，
Upon
维摩诘讲
these words,
真正的菩萨的道理的时候，
when Vimalakirti spoke on the description of true bodhisattvas.
跟随着维
Manjusri
他的所有
and Manjusri's whole entourage,
的天人，
including many heavenly beings, which are 8,000 celestial princes, which have no forms, no bodies.
妙波罗三藐
They all generated the mind for Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi,
道性
which is the mind to practice
等等道
the path, the true spiritual path, commitment.
天子，你想想看，维摩
8,000 celestial princes.
维摩诘这个房间有多大？
Just imagine how big Vimalakirti's room,
房间里面
and 8,000 celestial princes were inside Vimalakirti's room listening to the Dharma teaching, what true bodhisattvas comprise. They are all heavenly beings without bodies, bodiless.
我喜欢讲无生天人，
I like to talk about bodiless
无形
celestial beings, or we can also say formless celestial
当那
beings.
个瑶池金母点拨
Like
启示
myself back then, when Golden Mother started to
就带我去
give me the revelation, and then in my dorm that night, she showed me my past lives, and then not long after that, they were formless teachers, who were formless celestial beings, who came and taught me Dharma, how to walk, how to step, taught me mudras, the hand gestures, and they came every night for an hour. You could not see them. They have no forms.
所以维摩
So they are called formless celestial beings.
多大？
So Vimalakirti's room is how big? How could it house 8,000 beings? I mean, the room here, how could it have 8,000 people? It would break apart this whole mahal. But in fact,
很小，
they have no forms, so they could become very tiny.
8000个天子可以讲
So 8,000 celestial princes were all formless, and they followed Manjusri Bodhisattva.
听到了这个维摩诘讲，
Upon hearing Vimalakirti's words,
他们都花了
they all generated
懂得三藐三菩提心。
the mind for Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi.
我讲的是台湾话，阿耨多罗三藐三菩提。
I speak Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi in Taiwanese dialect.
这个经文就讲到这里。
So this is the passage for this part of the sutra.
听啊，这个维摩诘讲的也是蛮有道理的。
So hearing what Vimalakirti said, it makes sense. See, this elderly person who was sick could speak so much, must be quite tiresome.
好，谢谢大家。
Thank you, everybody.